Assalamu alaikum. Today is our first lecture regarding behavioral ecology, and we will study about the behavior of the living organisms or the animals with their environment, how they behave, how they capture their prey, how they react with the environment, how they live, how they live in a habitat or the place where they live, how they react with each other with the basically from with the uh, environment, how they interact. Natural selection, ecology and behavior testing hypotheses in behavior ecology, economic discussion, and the individual predator versus pre-evolutionary arm phase, competing for resources, living in a group, fighting and assessment, sexual conflict and sexual selection, parental care, mating systems, alternative breeding strategies, selfishness, altruism. These all are behaviors basically cooperation and helping in mammals, fishes and birds, altruism in the insects, design of signals and its evolution. These all behaviors occur in an organism or with to react with the environment, but also we will discuss about evolute, how they change with the passage of time. Now, dear crossing, it's the human nature, human behavior, that is the plus point, that we follow this rule, that deer crossing. So I think we finally mastered foraging theory. So behavior ecology, what is the behavior ecology? Study of how behavior is controlled or evolved or with the passage of time it changes and enhances survival and reproductive success of organism. Behavior is what an organism does and how it does is how they behave, how they survive, how they reproduce to success to the next generation. Some examples: the specific interaction like a mate choice, male competition, alarm cells, parental care. These all are the specific interactions or the behaviors of the for the sake of survival and for the sake of interaction with the environment. So these are the specific interactions like predation for the capture of prey, parasitism for living on another human or individual like a parasite, for example we can say it might as a leech on the to suck blood, like mutualism, that is the association between two organisms, that is the in a positive sense they are friendly to each other. Commensalism, one can harm and one can live on another but doesn't harm to the other organism. Okay, interactions with the environment, like what are the interactions? These are the foraging, that was sunlight, nest site selection, that's a signal modification. Why we study behavioral ecology? What is the reason? That's the reason. Possible first science, our survival dependent on the knowledge of the animals, like if we do not capture a prey, like it's called predation. If we do not compete, so the competition will lie and then the predation predator may occur. These are the keywords for the survival first of all when we see on the historical background of the mankind for the survival, as in a sense. Why we study behavior ecology? Possible first science, our survival dependent on the knowledge and other the other one is the control management of the or management of the species, food and game species. So there is a competition with life, agriculture pests. So the pest will definitely destroy our agriculture if we hard work and grow crops, but when the pest infect it, obviously we will dissort, and that's agricultural pests may harmful for us, so we have to control or manage to it. So it's our behavior, it's human behavior for towards a pest control, but it's the pest behavior that to grow to survive, as they are living beings, so they have to like so for the survival they have to attack, but we have to control, that it's our duty or our responsibility, or our role in a ecological behavioral science, okay? Or a behavior history or behavioral nature. Invasive species, where invasion takes place, endangered species may also lie in it. So another one is the possible first signs our survival dependent on the knowledge of other animals, like competition, like another control management of species. Another one is the understanding and modification of our own behavior, like the studies of how birds learn and develop songs provide unique insights into the development and neural control of species in the humans. These are innate behavior as well, but environmental effect may also lie. So some curiosity level may increase science for science sake. uh, Another one is science for science sake. Achieve a better understanding of the species, we share the planet Earth with other living beings too. Almost any behavior performed by any animal may be interesting to study. It may create variation. It may create color of life. Okay, history of study of animal behavior. As we study about animals, Paleolithic Paleolithic art, like this is a Paleolithic art from 40,000 plus years ago, provide indication that evidence primitive humans observed the behavior of animals. Cave painting portray herding animals in groups, animals migration, certain predators hunting in packs, and solitary animals alone. Some animals from the this observation from this history, we certainly know. Able to tell you guys all about that. Some lives in a colonial farm, some live in as a solitary, but some may invade another place for the survival. They may like competition between them for the food or for the living place. There is no survival for the living place, but as well for the competition lies may resources present, resources like food present at some places, but there was possibility that there at that colonial lies colonial arrangement or colonial origination. They may not have excess food, so they may compete with each other, and from this they join the predator prey relationships. Like this these are in the form of colonial. They may compete with the organisms, as with the like these deer are competing in a colonial form. Herd of lions explain them that they may lie as a colony form, and predation may for the survival of the species may also occur in the fourth picture, as Blurton Jones documented Kalahari Bushman's knowledge of animal behavior. They in 1976 write about behavior book. He write a book on behavior. Okay, hunter gathered society similar to most of the human society. So history of modern animal behavior research is ethology, objective description of behavior in the field of using observation, that is called observation. For the study that describe about the history is called by the aid of observation is called ethology. Whitson in 1800 coined the term instinct to describe the display patterns of the pigeons pattern the behavior that taken from the that genes comes from the parents. So instinct behavior may also lie, but he described about the pigeon behavior ethogram, a graph of time course or switch points in the sequence of behaviors became a way of categorizing species typical behavior we will be describe with the help of ethogram with the passage of time. Proximate and ultimate questions. Proximate questions focus on mechanism and development of behavior. These are how questions. How questions. These are proximate questions. And how does a bird learn? How bird learn its species song? Or how does a plant know when to produce flowers? These are all instinct behavior. How then but we called the questions are that that our mind starting from how it will be proximate approach. Proximate questions, the possible hypothesis that addresses these how questions include male learn their species songs by listening to what their father sing. That's instinctive behavior, obviously. From the parent they learn is called instinctive, and flowering in plants is triggered by increasing daylight. So that may also trigger in their mindset from parents to next generation, then next up. And when we study about why questions, it will be ultimate that curiosity level interest. Why they ask why natural selection. Then that's first one question is why natural selection of a that favors the behavior of ultimate hypothesis suggests that the behavior enhances fitness. Why? Like for example, why do female birds prefer males with the brighter plumage? Why? Why this behavior come to in their mind? Or that may you call it as it may taken from environment may change with the passage of time. You can say that is the ultimate behavior. Or why do birds look up occasionally? That may not come from the parents, but in some extent, but that may change with the passage of time as well. Or why do birds look up occasionally when they are feeding? And that's the behavior text explanation logical based answer, and that is ultimate questions. Okay, ultimate hypothesis that might address the why questions include like females prefer males with a bright plumage because such males possesses genes that confer disease resistance. That may with the competition with the passage of time number of progressions may occur, so it may gene resistant animals, so females prefer with the brighter plumage. But birds look up the skin for predators which enhances their survival. So the question was why do birds look up occasionally when they are feeding? Because for the predator survival, for the predator not to be predator, not to be captured by the predation mechanism. So then for the survival point of view, that may not observe as in the their younger age. mostly. But we can observe that when we go to the trees, there is nest, there is eggs, there are and there is like a little young ones of the birds. Ecology is the field of behavior ecology pioneered by the that was pioneered by the ethologist in middle of the 20th century, who included Nico Tinberg and Carl von Friesen, Conrad Lawrence. That was pioneered by the Nico and Conrad that were take a Nobel Prize in 1973. Nico and Carl and Conrad work was they carried out many well-known studies including fixed action patterns and imprinting. Imprinting that's the print is lie to the next, and fixed action patterns may also studied. Fixed action pattern. What is the fab or fixed action pattern? Is a sequence of behaviors that is essentially unchangeable and once begin is completed. That means unchangeable, one begin is completed, and that's the pattern. When it is completed it may change. Tinbergen studied fab is three spined sickle backs. Males have red bellies and depend territories from the other males, but they will attack any small unrealistic model fish as long as it's red belly. So that's the reason male stickbird back sickleback fish attacks from other male sickleback that invade in the nesting territory. Proximate cause and what is the ultimate cause? Proximate cause, the red belly of intruding male acts as a sign stimulus that releases aggression in a male sickleback. That may found that the sickleback know about the from the sign or aggression sign of as testosterone level may high and so aggression level may raise. And ultimate cause is the by chasing away other male sickleback, and a male decreases the chances of that egg laid in his nesting territory will be fertilized by the another male. So that's the ultimate cause. Imprinting. Lawrence carried out famous studies of imprinting in grey-leg geese. Geese is the plural form of the goose. Young goslings imprint on their mother in first few days of life, follow her and learn basic goose behaviors. That's imprinting from mother to the little child one from uh, learn in a few days, starting few days after birth. They may imprint the behavior how the mother behave, like they may follow how mother swim, how mother move, how mother interact with the environment. They all learn is called imprinting from mother. Imprinting the behaviors from the mother. However, goslings will imprint on a human substitute if exposed on in first few days of their life. Imprinting occurs in a short sensitive period and is irreversible. So imprinting one one person said that imprint when you are a little child, the thoughts, the thinking you imprint in your mind may live forever in your life. So imprinting is a sensitive short sensitive period in which the things you observe, the things you learn may not change for the life behavior. Young girls geese follow an imprint on their mother. Proximate cause. What is proximate physical cause. During an early critical developmental stage, the geese observe mother moving away from them and calling. That's imprint behavior when they follow that. And ultimate cause, on average, geese that follow and imprint on their mother receive more care. Why they did this? That's the ultimate cause. They receive more care and learn necessary skills, and thus have a greater chance of surviving than those do not follow their mother. So that was all about today's topic, and another behaviors we will discuss about in our next session.